time for a bit of tactical breakdown. I apologise if there's any background noise. I've got to have the fan on. It's ridiculously warm in this room at the moment, and I've also got some roadworks going on right outside that window, which is obviously could play havoc with the sound quality of this video. So I apologise for that. Now it's one of those things. Let's get into obviously last night's game then. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't exactly what we wanted to see. But for me, the difference was we won the game. We kept a clean sheet. And that's it. Social media last night, when I posted the score, I turned around and I said, I'd rather be lucky and win and be crap than brilliant, unlucky, and lose. So, you know, with that in mind, that's essentially what we got. We were crap. Let's make no bones about it. That game last night was quite painful. That game last night was a difficult one to get our heads round. It was boring to watch for large chunks of the game. And, you know, as much as we kept that clean sheet and we win the game, we probably shouldn't have done either. We definitely shouldn't have kept a clean sheet. There was a couple of good saves in there from Fabianski. The first half, let's hit the first half first. It was a hard watch. I was sat downstairs in the pub with a few of the boys watching the game together, and we were discussing the differences. Now, I made a comment, and I'll share it with you guys, that I can see what Lopetegui's trying to do. Right, I can see it. I can see the shoots of the new ideas, if you will, the seedlings that he's created, and I can see what it is that he's trying to develop at the club. That being said, not every player is capable of pulling that off. Now, we obviously had to make a change right before the game. I think it was Aaron Cresswell was injured. I'd posted all of the stuff across our X and X, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram pages. I'd put the lineup out. So I wasn't really paying much attention to what was going on at the start of the game, or before the start of the game, should I say. So when I sat down and started watching the game, and I was like, I feel like a bit of a pillock here. I put Cresswell at left back, and that seems to be Aaron Wan-Bissaka. What have I missed? So a couple of the boys then obviously informed me, and I wasn't going to go back to the computer and start making changes to what I'd put out. So it was, you know, I just let it run. So obviously that tripped us up a little bit. Obviously that caused us some consternation. That caused us some, we had to change. Now, you know, there was a lot of sideways and backwards passes in that first half. Reminds you of anything? But again, the difference was that we kept a clean sheet. Now, we wanted to keep the ball. This for me was, again, it shows the shoots of the new style, if you will, the new playing style, the new tactical setup, is that we want to keep the ball. We're not just content with the other team having it. We want to keep the ball as well. So when you're there and you're doing that, and you're seeing that we're trying to, when you have players that are not as comfortable on the ball with what we're trying to do, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And for me right now, that sore thumb is Vladimir Sufal, and to a degree Thomas Souček, right? Because there were several times in that first half where things were rushed and harried because we couldn't find that time or that confidence on the ball to play the ball to, into Kilman or forward to Bowen or into Souček. Now, a lot of the players, I think, are very much this sort of way. They don't want to play the ball into Souček's feet because they know that it's not a strength of his. We know it's not a strength of his, and I can pretty much guarantee you that Thomas Souček knows that it isn't a strength of his, right? So, so when you've got him in that team, you're avoiding the passing, which the problem is it then restricts what you can do with the ball. So if Kilman's blocked off, if Mavropanos or Todibo were blocked off, you had to go back to the keeper. And it was again the same when you move into midfield and you've got Ward-Prowse, he has to come backwards. He's either, the players that he has in front of him could well be marked, so he has to go sideways and backwards. And we saw a lot of that with Declan Rice when Declan Rice was with us, and we moaned. And we're moaning again because we're passing sideways and backwards, but we're keeping the ball. And for me, I prefer that. I prefer having the ball because the other team can't score than just sitting there and letting the other team play with the ball and do what they want to do. So, that in mind, I don't mind what we're doing. We had a couple of interesting bits in that first half. It wasn't the easiest thing to watch in the world. It wasn't. At times, it wasn't comfortable. I think, was it in the first half? It was right at the very end of the first half. So Somerville blazes one over in the first half. Some good work down the right. It's a good flick from Fulkrug, and Somerville blazes over the bar. There was another one where he had a good touch. Again, it was another one that he blazes over the bar. He runs in, and I won't say it bobbles, but it doesn't sit. Had to pause there. I had something to do with work. Lost my train of thought. Somerville blazing over the bar a couple of times. Literally, the last seconds of the first half, Bournemouth did what they did many times in that first half, and they got in behind down the flanks. Now, this time, it came down the left. They got the better of AWB for probably the first time in a significant portion of that first half. I thought Aaron Wan-Bissaka was really good in that first half, but they got in behind him. The ball comes in. Now, when I was watching it live, I thought it was a really good volley. It wasn't. It was a back heel, from what I understand. And Fabianski, his reflexes, his reactions were that of someone half his age, to be perfectly honest with you. He gets down really well to his right and palms that ball away. Not only does he palm it away, he pushes it away from danger. No, I'm sorry, not only does he save it, pushes it away from danger. Which we saw at the weekend. You also saw earlier in the night, actually, last night, when Newcastle break in the early moments of the game against Forest. Keeper gets down, makes a really good save. Willock follows it up because he only pushes it back into the 6-yard box, or just out of the 6-yard box. He doesn't push it away. So what was a good save from Fabianski. Good goalkeepers can do that. They push it away. There's one behind me. Push the ball away. And we go in at half time and it's 0-0. And I'll be honest, I thought we were fairly lucky to go in at half time 0-0. I don't think we were the better side. I don't think it would have been against the run of play if we'd gone in 1-0 down. Fair comment. Second half starts. We make the substitution. We bring on Mavropanos for Todibo. Whether that was tactical, whether that was injury, I still don't know right now. I still don't know. And they made I think they made a triple substitution. I might be wrong, but they did bring on, is his name Evan Nielsen? Evan Nielsen? Or something like that. It looked like an enforcer for one of the Colombian drug cartels. That's one of the comments that was mentioned last night and made me laugh. And he gave us the runaround in the first 15 minutes of that second half. Crikey, we could have been 3-4 down in the space of that 15 minutes. He got in behind Mavropanos. He got in behind Kilman. He got in behind Soufal. Again, the weak link for me defensively is Soufal, and it's a concern. And he, like I say, he gave us a runaround. It was painful to watch at times. On the hour, we made the substitutions. You know, Alvarez, Ward-Prowse. On comes Paqueta. On comes Rodriguez. You know, a bit further on, off comes Fulkrug. On comes Kudus. And we just look better. We look better. You know, the out ball, if you will. We had an extra man in the middle of the park because it wasn't Souček. It was Paqueta because Souček went a bit further forward. And it just looked a bit healthier for us, in my opinion. Last 2 minutes of the game, you know, we're sitting there preparing for penalties, and the substitutes combined with Jared Bowen for the equaliser. What I will say is I watched the Bournemouth game on work interrupts again. Yeah, so Bournemouth at the weekend were very unlucky. They have a goal chalked off by VAR in the last seconds of the game. Guy goes up for the header, actually hits him on the sleeve part of his arm. Now, the rules are, if you know, with handball, it's bottom of the sleeve and down is handball. You know, the bare part of the arm would be considered handball. It is sleeve, so it should have been a goal. We got lucky yesterday. It hits Jared Bowen's forearm. What I will say is, if we had VAR, they probably disallow that, right? But again, what I will say is, if his arm was in an unnatural position, it wouldn't have hit his arm. If his arm, you know, with regards to VAR, if the arm is up and out and whatever, well, if his arm was up and out, it would have hit his stomach or his side and his chest, and it would have gone in. So we wouldn't be having this conversation. So for me, having your arms in him because it's hit your arm down and close to your body, I don't think it makes a difference. I still think the goal probably should be allowed, but wouldn't have been if that makes sense. Full-time whistle comes. We're celebrating. Bournemouth are not in the next round of the cup. We are, and then the crap begins, right? So I got taken aback. Would be the better word for this. I got taken aback by how they were now doing the draw. So the draw was done like this. This is a quick screen grab. So your Champions League and the Europa League sides, 6 of them, can't meet each other in this round because of fixture congestion in those 2 competitions, because of the extra 2 games in Europe, because of the new design of the Champions League and the Europa League, right? But what I don't understand is you've still got to play those games. So the next screen grab I've got is of the draw, right? So there's your draw. And we can see there Man U have got Barnsley. So Man U have still got to play that game there on the 17th of September. Man City have still got to play Watford on the 17th of September. As you can see there, we drew Liverpool. They've still got to play us, Arsenal, Bolton, right? You get what I'm on about, right? So why can't they face each other if they've still got to play their games? Why can't you have Arsenal, Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, because of fixture congestion that they can't play each other, yet they've still got to play, Watford and Bolton on the same day? Why couldn't Bolton play Watford and Arsenal play Man City? It screams this right here. This screams seeding. It screams elitism. And it screams, we just want to make sure that the big boys are still catered for. That's what it screams to me. That's how I'm looking at it. I might be wrong. And I want your opinions in the comments below. If I'm wrong, then, or if you think I'm wrong, if you think my opinion's wrong, come and tell me. Come and tell me why you think my opinion's wrong. Because I think that there, so 4 of the 6 also get home ties. Bearing in mind it's only a one-leg, it's a one-leg game, so it's not 2 legs. So 4 of them get home ties to appease the big boys: Liverpool, Arsenal, Man U, Man City. Take a look. It's there in front of you. Man U, home draw. Yeah? Aston Villa, they're one of the 2 that have got the away games. Who's the other one then that got the away game? Can't see. Tottenham? No. Tottenham, maybe. So then you're looking at Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, all have home games. Man U, all have home games. It stinks of elitism. It stinks of giving those guys just a bigger benefit. Because of that, right? Because of that, the biggest game in that next round is us versus Liverpool, right? That's the biggest game. That's the biggest game. And clubs like, Barrow will probably be a bit miffed. Fleetwood, probably be a bit miffed that they didn't get drawn against one of the other guys, an Arsenal, a Chelsea, a City, a United, at big grounds. I don't like it. I don't like what they've done because they're saying it has to be done so there's the less fixture congestion, so they don't, because of the 2 extra games in Europe. But they've still got to play those games. Everyone understands where I'm coming from, right? I'm not going mad here, am I? I'm not. They've still got to play the game. So what does it matter if if Liverpool are playing us and not Arsenal, or Manchester City, or Manchester United, or Aston Villa, right? I don't get it. Again, leave your comments below, guys. I'm going to wrap it up there because I can feel myself getting a bit emotive with this situation. I was having a few conversations last night about it, and I'm quite angry, to be honest with you, because I feel it's elitist. It's making sure that those big boys are favoured, for want of a better word. There's several Twitter comments that I read. The boys at Hammers, West Ham Fan TV, put their comments out. These big boys are now, again, we're appeasing them with this to stop them from going off and doing their Super League. Well, let them go. Let them go join the Super League. Let's get football back to what football used to be. What I grew up watching. Not this favouring because, the Sky Sports Big Six. Because I know this is going to probably trigger some people to come back at me, and I'll fight my corner in, I'll give my opinion. So, but the Premier League is a brand, right? The Premier League is a brand, and it is sponsored by Sky Sports. And that brand has its faces, yeah? Like any fashion brand, you know, Nike, right? For instance, Nike with the Jordan brand, the Air Jordan, right? Well, the face of that is Michael Jordan, right? The Premier League is a brand with the faces that are what we consider to be the big six, right? Man City, Man U, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs. And because of that, and Sky being the sponsors of said brand, want those boys up in the top six of the table, up in the fighting for that title and fighting for the trophies and everything else, because it's their sponsorship and because people want to see those, right? Because they want to see those, they have to be prominent on the brand of Premier League, because then Sky will get more money. It's relatively straightforward if I'm making my point clear enough. So we're trying to appease those so they don't run away and they don't leave like they tried to with the Super League. So they don't leave and create their Super League. So then the brand of the Premier League doesn't lose its appeal, which means then that Sky Sports lose money. So we've got to appease them. And this is just another way of doing it. There is absolutely no reason that this has to exist. No reason for this having to exist for anything other than bending over backwards to aid those big teams. That's it. That's for me. That's all it boils down to. Listen, guys, I'm going to call it a day there. If you like the video, if you've enjoyed this video, hit like. If you haven't, hit like anyway. Do me a favor. I will forever love you all if you can hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe, hit the bell icon, and get notified when I put out any new videos and content. I am doing this on my own currently. I'm also running a pub, which takes a lot of my time and effort, as you can imagine. I have a family, so there's a lot of time that I have to put in outside of YouTube. So I get to YouTube, and I want to make it. I want to make this content for you guys. I want to be able to, get this out there and have my say as well, and hopefully you guys enjoy what I've got to say. So if I miss some stuff, I missed the Palace game, preview, review. I'm probably going to miss the City game this weekend because I'm at a wedding. And again, I'm only one man, so it's not like I've got someone else that can jump on and create a video for me to go out. That being said, if you want to, get in touch. For those of you who've got my phone number, if you want to do me a quick preview for the Man City game that I can put up on this channel, I'd love that. I'd absolutely love it. Just record it, send it to me. I'll edit it and we'll get it out. There you go, as a way of doing stuff. As I say, like, subscribe, all the rest of that malarkey, and I will see you, hopefully, very soon. Have a good one, guys. Come on, you irons.